Another episode in the adventures of flipping furniture. I picked up this piece at an auction and it was already really clean, so I just sanded the top completely down before dusting it inside and out and then bringing it inside for a more thorough cleaning. I'm always going to take off the hardware first and put it in a baggie, maybe even duct tape it to the back of the dresser so I don't lose it for later. Now here is the very interesting part of the video where you'll see me notice something strange in the bottom of this drawer that I just cleaned the day before because it's been sitting in my studio for 24 hours. I'm noticing some little pellets left by what looks like a big mouse. I cleaned inside these drawers just the day before and there wasn't anything in it. So why is there something in it now? And where is the mouse? Found it. So even though I don't even really want to take my eyes off of it, I go and get my small hand broom and an empty Amazon envelope and I... After humanely sending little Gus Gus on his way, I puzzle out how this may have happened. I sanded the entire top of this yesterday right before cleaning it and then bringing it into my house. Well, I guess we're going to clean it again. Definitely we're going to clean it again. So after the world's most thorough of cleanings, I'm going to take Dixie Belle's Silk in the color TidePool and give this piece 2 coats. This is a super easy paint to use because it's an all-in-one, which means it's got a built-in blocker for any tannins or stains that might come through, but then it also has a top coat, so 2 coats and I'm done. So once again, I was inspired by a show that I'm watching. I'm all about the blues, but not every hue really kind of goes together. But I saw a scene in this show where this blue vase stood out against this like foamy sea green blue wall. And I was like, man, that kind of looks like the piece that I'm painting. Maybe I should do some bright blue. So I'm going to do some bright blue. And yes, it's fried chicken. I love fried chicken. I'm going to be using my water mister to help move paint because I'm not sure that I want full coverage just yet. So this color is of the Dixie Belle chalk paint line, which means it loves water. You can spray your brush or spray your piece, and it's going to make that color just a little bit runny where you can see the underneath color peeking through. What the hell? And because I don't want that brighter blue to be the main focus of the piece, I'll take a lint-free cloth and kind of wipe some of the areas back so that it's just an accent. Well, I announced to my family that I was going to bed, and then I came in here and I grabbed my stuff. And now I'm going to put some copper on this piece and see if I like it. I bought this off of Amazon like 4 or 5 years ago. It's really pretty. I'm using a Blue Hawk stenciling brush just to hit the raised edges on this piece. Like, I don't want it to be full coverage. I just want it to accent all the detailed areas, the insides of the drawers, the corners, you know, anywhere there's just like a little something extra. And it's so very red that I'm realizing I'm probably going to want to tone it down with something. I'm not sure, but the copper leaves something to be desired. And I'm not exactly sure if this is what I desire, but it might be. Worst case scenario, we just paint over it. Could be awesome, could be a train wreck. I probably should just go to bed. Did you know? Oh, wait, there's more. I'm a unicorn. So here we have the Royal Damask stencil from Dixie Belle. I don't know. It's really a little too tall for this. So even though I do love the way the Damask stencil looks, it's really the right style for what I'm going for. It's kind of hard and I wanted to make it easier on myself. So I went through my arsenal of stencils and I just went right back to the Damask stencil. Okay, we're going to make this Royal Damask work. I'm really not sure about this. I don't know if the colors are going to mesh well. And I don't know if this metallic is going to run under my Mylar stencil because I've never used it before. So it will be a learning experience for all of us. Or maybe I just won't post this part of the video. Are we centered-ish? We're centered-ish. It's fine. A couple of tricks I like to use for successful stenciling are to use a small amount of paint and go in smaller sections. Smaller amounts of paint will help it not bleed underneath the stencil. Okay, so basically I mixed the two, so it's a tiny bit copper and a tiny bit champagne. You can see here where it's a bit darker, a little more red to it, a little hot pink red. And then here it's a little bit lighter. It's more of a toned down copper, but I dig it. That was probably too aggressive. As I mentioned, I bought this Gilding Wax on Amazon about 4 years ago, and I'm still using it. It came in a 4-pack with the copper, there's a pure gold, rose gold, and silver. I'm using the same stencil brush that I used earlier on the stencil, and I'm just painting it on. I'll do 2 coats, and then because it dries hard, there's no need for a clear coat. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, I put the hardware back on. And of course, I think it's missing something. And as I'm sure you've heard me mention before, I have a really hard time waiting for one step to dry before jumping the gun, going to the next step. So the copper isn't quite dry as I'm adding the champagne in, but I love the way it tones down the red in this Gilding Wax. There's one, and there's the other. I still feel like it leaves a little tiny bit more, but not a lot, and I don't want to overdo it. Which is a very dangerous place to be. Okay. So I'm going with Dixie Belle's No Pain Gel Stain in American Honey. It is oil-based, so if you want to protect your hands, put some petroleum jelly over it, and then the oil-based stains will not stick to you. I like a single glove and a single sock for this method. So it's basically done, but I don't like this. I don't like the copper in the drawers. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to repaint it, reapply the champagne metallics, and then I think we're going to call it done. But, you know, we'll see. Okay, I feel like that does it. Any more, and I feel like it would be too much. I feel like this is just the right amount. What do you guys think?